Hello, friends. We're live. We're here. We're back. I'm on YouTube again, and Twitch, and Twitter, and I think that's it. Still a lot of places. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? We're gonna do some crazy, weird stuff as usual. I'm gonna walk you through what I've been playing with the last couple days, which is this really great thing came out called VLM Nodes. Okay. Now, what VLM Nodes let you do is ask a multimodal model what it sees in an image, and then it'll give you like a description of the image, which then you can use to prompt stuff or build a prompt out of some other stuff, or use multiple types of prompt generation, tagging stuff, all of it to cut together a new prompt. For example, here you can load an image in and it'll tell you what it sees. Now, this becomes immensely powerful when you think about, well, you can just have it look at an image and write you a prompt, and you don't really need to use an API key or have access to external cloud servers that cost money. You can do it locally on your GPU. So I've taken that. So you make it so it looks at an image, it writes a prompt for that image, uses that prompt for the positive, and then we just do a negative prompt, and then we run it 3 times, and we also and these 3 different versions here are this is using IPAdapters to take this original image here and try to use IPAdapters to make it style the animation in that style using AnimateDiff. This one here is just taking the prompt from what it sees and just doing a fresh animation from just the prompt. And then the one down here is 50-50. So this is have 50% the prompt or 100% the prompt, but with IPAdapter's strength at 50%. So what you get now at the end is a grid of the original image, the IPAdapters version, the 50% IPAdapters version, and the Wild Dream. And then these are just color matched to the original. So I thought what I would do is just rebuild this workflow, and we can go over all the crazy stuff it's doing. And then if we rebuild it in real time, maybe it'll make sense. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Worth a shot, though. All right. I need to pull up my Restream chat. Give me one moment. Ba-doop, boop, 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 boo. Yeah. There it is. Hey, Frank. All right. I can see the chat. I can see my screen. Hopefully y'all can hear me, and we'll just get kicking. As always, if you want to put some tunes on in the background, go for it. I can't play songs on my stream because then my streams get copy stricken. But yeah, let's rebuild this insane workflow. We're just going to start with like 1 though. We're not going to do the 3 thing. If you guys are really interested in this particular workflow, I can make this available later on the Discord, but we're just going to rebuild it here so you'll be able to do it yourself. So let's save this as comparison grid for AnimateLCM. And then what I'm going to do is just pop this into, whoops. Okay. Shoot. Okay. So now I want to copy this. That's what I want. And close this. Okay. Just trying to remember all the stuff I need to make this work. Okay, let's start with a fresh. I'm going to pop this guy over here so I can just keep an eye on it. And we'll just start with the clear y'all out. Okay, let's start with the interrogator, the LLaVA thing. Okay, so for this, you need to install the go to Manager, install custom nodes, and you want the VLM nodes. So install those and then reboot it and then come back. And the other thing you're going to need is on that VLM nodes GitHub. So you just click on the VLM nodes to get to their GitHub. You are going to need a couple of these files here. Okay. So you need this clip projector. So you go to this first link here and you need the medium one, I believe. It's this one here, recommended medium. So grab that and download it. It's the LLaVA version 1.6 Mistral 7BQ4KM. Okay, I think. Let me double check my thing. Mine is using. It's using GGML model Q4_K dot gguf. There it is. I'm just going to drop this link right in the chat. This is the file you need. Okay. This is all very confusing, I know. So we need that file, and we need what's the other one? It's a clip model. It's mmproj model f16.gguf. There it is. Okay, and I'll drop the link to that too as well. Boop boop. Okay, and there's a link for that other file. So those are the two models that you will need to run the LLaVA multimodal thing. And they go in, trying to remember where they go. They go into your ComfyUI folder under ComfyUI, come on, brain. Not output, models, and then LLaVA checkpoints. If this folder doesn't exist, you need to update Comfy, I think, or install that VLM plugin first. And then go in here and drop the two files that I just linked into this folder. And then once that's done, you can come back to Comfy and we can work on the LLaVA stuff. So let's get it kicking. LLaVA is LLaVA. Too many windows, guys. Sorry. Okay. So first thing we need is a LLaVA loader simple. And LLaVA clip loader. LLaVA clip loader. We need a primitive node. It's going to have nothing for now. We need a LLaVA sampler simple. Okay. And we need a load image. All right. Load image. And what else? That's enough to get our prompt, I believe. Clip goes to model. Model goes to model. Sorry, clip goes to clip. Model goes to model. This primitive is going to be our prompt. So plug that into the prompt, and then you say describe the picture. That's what we're asking this this model to do. You select the Q4K model for the loader simple, and the clip loader you select the the F16 one, I believe. Yeah, mmproj. So the mmproject model is the LLaVA clip loader, and the ggml one is the LLaVA loader simple. If they're not showing up, just hit this little refresh button here after you move those files into place, and they should show up. Easy peasy. All right. Boom, boom. And then the image goes into here. And this string, if we add a show text node, you might need to add the show text nodes, which are in the this one here, I believe. Yeah. Python GAUS ComfyUI custom scripts. So you want ComfyUI custom scripts. And that'll give you access to show text. There's a bunch of other show text nodes. You might already have one from some other pack if you don't have that one. So just try to do that. And that's going to spit out the text so you can see what it sees. So if we run this, it should just describe the picture it sees. Now, one thing I've noticed is the larger the image, the longer it takes. So you kind of want to feed it like a 512 by 512 image so that it's not like, ginormous. But yeah, this worked. Let's have a look. What does it see? Nope. I mean, bam. For this stream, so what you can do here then is you have this string, right? So when you're doing your diffusion run, you can literally just change the text. Where is it? Convert text to input. Now text is an input. I can take that string right from here. So it's just going to paste this in. That's going to be your prompt. Easy peasy. But we are on YouTube, so I don't want it to just maybe see something in the prompt and then prompt something that it's not supposed to and then get some disgusting image on screen. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to run this stuff in a separate workflow and just tab back and forth into the thing and just paste the prompts in when it's time. But you can absolutely just add this to the front of your workflow and just go willy-nilly prompt in. It's usually not a problem, but I did find, if it detects the person as being younger than they are, then it can just make some really gross stuff. So you just don't want any chance of that happening. It's always nice to have a barrier between, especially with language, because anyway, it's good to just paste it in and look at it and paste it in if it's good. But if you're, running locally and you don't care, then go nuts. Yeah, for this, I'm just going to run this in a separate tab. So now we have this again. Let's move you over here. So we have our prompt, and now I can just run this prompt. So let's, how many of these do I need? Another one. Why is this running again? You can close. Okay, and clear. All right, case sampler. So we're just going to do the same thing we've done a million times and build we're going to just build a very simple diffuser. Positive prompt, negative prompt, purple. All right, latent image. We need an empty latent image. Make that green because it's inputs. All right, that's our resolution and the amount of images we want on our run. And the other thing we need is a model. So we're just going to use a checkpoint loader. And we're going to pick, let's do photon. NSFW nude in the negative and not the URL, but this. So we got that. Take our load image. We still got our image in our thing so we can see it. This is the prompt that image generated. VAE decoder. VAE from here. Clip into the clips. Image out to save image. And we'll call it LLaVA tests. All right. So not bad. So that's the input image there. Let me check out these side by side. Better way. So yeah, I did a pretty good job of it's definitely picking up what we wanted from the prompt. I mean, it's not one-to-one, obviously, because it's just a image to a prompt, but it's really picking up what we asked for. Instead, or what we could do then to further sort of control is add IPAdapters, right? Because then we can really push it into the realm of the initial image, and then we have control over how much of that we want to use. So let's do a quick and dirty IPAdapters. Apply encoded. Okay, so checkpoint goes into the IPAdapter and goes into the case sampler. The model goes through IPAdapter. We need a couple things. We need an IPAdapter encoder. We need to take our image and prepare it for clip vision. So we need a prep image for clip vision. All this does is squishes it down to 256 by 256 or something. Like, it's the ideal size for clip vision. That's what it's trained at. It's my understanding. We need a clip vision loader, and we're just going to use a simple clip vision SD15. We also need an IPAdapter loader, and we're going to use IPAdapter plus, and we're going to turn plus on. And that's basically it. We're going to turn the weight down for the 3 images inputs we're not using, even though they're probably off by default. And if the weight at 100% here, this should be damn close to the input image. It's going to take a lot more of the IPAdapters into 224. Yeah, there you go. So it's going to look a lot more like the input image. It's not going to be exactly like the input image, but it's going to be damn close. So now you can imagine the power of this, right? So we can drive anything to what we want. We can do what we want. We can do this. We can do that. But the other cool thing is we don't necessarily have to use it at 100%. If you use it at 50%, then it's 50% Dream, 50% IPAdapters. So it's a really cool way to dream out some new stuff, right? Pretty cool. Why stop there? Okay. What do we want to add next? Animation? Sure. All right. Let's add AnimateLCM. Can you use the animated mask to morph from one image to another? Yes, you sure can. We can do some IPAdapter mask fun if you want. It's pretty wild. Let's start with AnimateLCM. So this AnimateLCM thing, the way that works is there's 2 models in that folder. There's the checkpoint and the LoRa. Okay, the checkpoint for me went in my custom nodes, AnimateDiff evolved models folder. Okay, and I renamed it to AnimateLCM or something. Where did I put that? Yeah, SD15T2V beta.checkpoint. So that went in my AnimateDiff evolved custom nodes AnimateDiff evolved models folder. And then the LoRa goes in your models LoRa's LCM. That's where I put mine so that I could see it. So the checkpoint is a motion model, goes with your other motion models. The LoRa is the LoRa replaces your LCM LoRa in the workflow. Okay, so let's do that. Model goes into IPAdapters. So first we're going to send it through the LCM. So we need a LoRa loader. We need to pass the clip through as well. The clip goes into you and you. Yeah. All right. And the model goes into IPAdapters. So checkpoint, LoRa, IPAdapters, prompt, K-sampler. I tend to stack stuff on top because it's neater in my brain, but I know sometimes you need to see the connections for it to make sense. So that's how it's all wired up, basically, like that. And then everything else is, plugged in and wrapped around. Okay. Once we are using a LCM LoRa, you need to change your sampler to LCM, your CFG down to like 2, and your steps down to like 4 to 8. So we'll start with like 6. Okay. This should just make an image, but I don't know if it will. This might be only geared for animation. Yeah, it worked. Okay. So as you can see, we just did a image in 6 steps. That's pretty comparable to the images we just made, which means it's, way faster. But the really nice thing about this is we can use it for animation. So these are our loaders. IPAdapter. We'll call this clip stuff. Diffusion. Output. We need to add AnimateDiff here. We're going to add it right here in between the IPAdapter and the clip. So let's move this stuff over. Okay. And we need use evolved sampling. All right. We need the model comes from here. Boop. And it goes out here. So we're going through IPAdapter into AnimateDiff into K-sampler. Now we have to plug the rest of this stuff in. So we need a AnimateDiff like a model, motion model loader. We're going to use the one we just downloaded, which is the SD15T2V beta. All right. And then we're going to add a context options node. We want to use a looped uniform context options. 16.1.3. Turn closed loop on. I've been turning guarantee steps on too. I don't know what it means, but it just makes me feel better. The only other thing we might want to add is a motion LoRa, but let's just not for right now. So we're going to remove this save image and we're going to add a video combine node. And that's in the video helper suite. So you want to go into manager if you don't have it already. If you've done any of mine before, you probably do. But yeah, you want this video helper suite. I use it every day. It's the best. Just help makes loading images and stuff easier. Way better options and stuff. Image comes from out of the VAE decoder into the video combine. So now we're making animations instead of images. Okay, so yeah, that's all good. So this is going to control, for now, this batch size here is going to control how many frames are in our animation. And AnimateDiff works over a series of 16 frame context windows. So in order for us to jump a context window to see what's happening, we're going to have to do more than 16 frames. So we're going to do 32 frames. But because we're using... the other thing we have to do is because we're using the AnimateLCM system and we're using the Animate SD15 T2V beta, we need to switch the beta schedule to LCM. Okay, so that's in that list. If you don't see this stuff or these nodes are different, you need to update AnimateDiff evolved. They had a major update a little while ago. No, I can't explain context options. They're very confusing, but I will try. Context length is how long the context window is, and these models are trained at 16, so leave that alone. Context stride is a way of trying to stride across context windows to find ones that are the same, I think. I don't use it. I think it makes things longer, and I haven't had any success with changing that number ever, so I just leave it alone. Context overlap. Context overlap is like how many frames in between context windows it tries to interpolate together. So the higher the number, the more sort of gooey the transitions are. The lower the number, the more hard and jittery the translations are. Guarantee steps as if you use star percent to determine the order of execution. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Oh, that's how many it'll guarantee it does before it starts. I see. Yeah. The fuse method, I don't know. I've just been using pyramid because it's new and I like pyramids. There's an explanation of all this stuff on their GitHub though. Like that's really the place to look. It's just a lot more mathematical and esoteric than I'm capable of understanding. So I just play with settings until things look cool. So let's set the IP adapters to like 0. So we're just gonna go straight prompt. So I think we're all set here. LCM beta schedule. This should just work. So this is going to be all prompt, no IP adapters. So this is essentially bypassed right now because the weight is at 0. So we're just literally going prompt, AnimateDiff, LCM, make an animation. Let's see what happens. The node that the beta schedule sampling is called the use evolved sampling node. It's new. If you look under the AnimateDiff evolved setting or AnimateDiff evolved stuffamadoodles, there's a bunch of stuff in the Gen 2 nodes. That's where I'm getting all that from. There we go. So that's just from the prompt from this image. So if we want to use IP adapters, we can enforce the image to literally animate the image that we made with the prompt reinforcing the vibe of the image for the stuff that it's animating outside of the context of the image, which means you kind of pretty much get, a nice animation from your image, kind of like Runway, but free. And obviously if you use like not LCM, if you go hard and do 25 steps and stuff, you can get really great looking stuff. So here's where the IP adapter and the ADIF stuff kind of fight each other a bit. So you got to find that perfect weight where it's not overtaking too much. Like right now it's really trying to keep it in this place, which is cool. It's an interesting type of animation, but you can see how hey Salvia Cat, it depends how fast the GPU is, but it should be pretty fast. I can tell you exactly how much VRAM it's using. It says 10 gigs, but 18 gigs on the VAED code. Eugh. Yeah, the VAED code might be a little slow because it'll be bumping into your thing, but yeah, I don't know why it's taking so much VRAM. Yeah, that's cool. So that's at 60%, the IP adapters. Let's clean these nodes up real quick. Color yellow. Okay. Yeah, you can just wire LoRa's in before the LCM LoRa. So you can add more LoRa's here and just keep wiring them through here and then come out this one to the rest of the stuff. So like you can add different LoRa's to get different vibes. And yeah, and then there's also motion, AnimateDiff has motion LoRa's. So if you add a AnimateDiff motion LoRa loader and download the like zoom in or zoom out LoRa, and then you just go full prompt. It works better with full prompts, but it does work with IP adapters as well. But this should be like a zooming in kind of like zooming in forever type of prompt. And if you want your animations to loop, you need to use the looped uniform context options. The other ones don't loop, even if your input footage loops. So yeah. Yeah, so that's with the zoom in LoRa. You can see it's sort of like a deform run where it's just always zooming in. There's a zoom out LoRa. There's all kinds of stuff. You can just boomerang it by hitting ping pong on the video combine node on the way out. And it'll do that on the way out. It'll run the video and then it'll bounce it backwards at the end and save it so that the video just goes boingy, 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 boingy. So what you can do is then just make a second video combine and enable ping pong on that and plug this out and just add like PP to it or something. PP. And then, this one will ping pong and this one won't. And you'll have both copies when you're done because it only takes a second, otherwise. Yeah. So that's just going to zoom out and loop forever. And of course, that's only 32 frames. We can do, 128, whatever. It'll take a little longer, but it'll be a longer animation with more context windows to jump through. Upscaling, Praffle. You'd run another one and upscale it. You need more and more VRAM the higher you go, though. In my last video, on my last video, I showed you how to set up a upscaler that does multiple runs, but only upscales the stuff that needs to be upscaled. It looks a lot better than just doing a dirty upscale. So this should be much longer. It's kind of nauseating. I love it. All right. Yeah, and then there's all kinds of different motion LoRa's. The only thing about some of them is that they have watermarks in them. So yeah, depends on what you're doing with this stuff. Some of this stuff's research, right? But the cool thing is you can actually train your own motion LoRa's now. We might try that at the end of the stream if I have some extra time. Yeah, you can see the Shutterstock logo. That's not good, but it's trippy. And yeah, if you don't have to use the AnimateLCM stuff, I'm just doing that for speed. You can remove this. You can change this to the whatever motion model. You can change this to auto select, and then increase the steps and use a regular sampler, to give it more time and stuff. But yeah, it's cool. Let me try a different image. Oops, I got this prompt with this image. Yeah, so I was just going to do that prompt. So what I would want to do then is go over here and pick that image. Oh, before I do that, I want to... just going to use this image resize node. Squish it down a bit before it goes into the LLaVA sampler because big images take forever. Oh, thanks, Praffle. Yeah, all the workflows are on my Discord. Well, most of them. And if you need help, there's people there that can help. But yeah, and I also have a GitHub as well where you can get the workflows. It doesn't have all of them, but it has some of them. It has the one from the other night. And then the rest of them are on my Discord. Unless they're like totally out of date or, because, sometimes these workflows are completely out of date 2 days after we make them, but sort of the price of playing with these new toys. This is a green, dark, and mysterious forest with an old, rusty, broken down ship. Trees and plants all around. There's a river flowing through the middle of the image. This is really good. Oh, wow. We got 2 prompts, I guess. Let's just try the first one. This is why I don't run the prompt right in, because sometimes you get the actual conversation between the LLM and the assistant or the user. So let's try that. Let's see what it do. So this is just the prompt. IPAdapters is off. Yeah, exactly, Scotty. So let's see if it understood the assignment here. Kind of, sort of. And let's add the IP adapter at 50%. I think I put comma 5. That's cool. If it's too fast, you don't like the speed of the motion, you can install frame interpolation nodes, and then use like film or Rife or whatever flavor of frame interpolation you like to, make it chill out a bit. What that does is it'll, depending on this multiplier here, it'll slow the footage down and speed it up and slow it down. Let's try 100%. So now when it's done, it should frame interpolate this one. That is trippy. All right, now it's interpolating the stuff. So this one, you'll notice is smoother. It's half the speed, but it's smoother when it's done. You get nice motion in that. So I'm curious what we get without the prompts and just straight IP adapters. I wonder if it's going to be exactly the same. Curious how much effect the prompt has on it when it's like 100%. Stop it. Now I want to sub. Club sub. Nom, 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 nom. It looks the same. Really should have copied those first. Another thing you can do is if you really like a run, you can always just copy and paste that video combine and just throw it somewhere. And you can just have a little gallery of the runs that you liked, Give yourself sort of a visual gallery of what you've been working on. But I mean, all the stuff's in your outputs folder as well, obviously. Another cool thing we can do is color match to the original image. So if we add another one of these, and we'll take the film output, and we'll add a color match node, and then grab the image out, use it as the reference, and then the target is the filmed version, and then the output is this. And then we add CM to this for color match. And then we'll have a version where it's color matched to the original image, which can sometimes make it better, sometimes make it not. Transition from one image to another. So that's a very loaded question. Like, what do you mean by that exactly? Interpolating between two images? Probably not going to happen. It's still very hard to do. There are workflows on Banadoko for that, but they're very specialty stuff. They use segmentation, masking, a lot of brain power. I can alternate between two things using an IPAdapters mask, but it is not the same thing as an interpolation between two images. So it really depends on what you want to do there. If you want one image to change into another one, that's not me. Ah, cool. But if you want to see something really cool, I can show you something really cool. If you feed an attention mask to IPAdapters that is not just a simple mask, but a moving mask, you get very cool animations. Let me show you. Load image, VHS, load images, path, mask pack. Okay, this is going to spit the mask out here, and then it's going to invert it and spit it out here. So we're going to have one mask that's going black and white and one mask that's going white and black. Hey, Stefan, that's great. Have a great night. Okay, so that's kicking. This is the amount of frames that are in the video. So we're going to actually use that here instead of our batch size. So we're going to convert batch size to an input, and we're going to take the amount of frames from here so that it's a loop. I'm going to set it to go at double speed, and I'm going to have it load all the frames and skip none. If we look at the folder, there's 90 images, which means it's going to be 45 frame animation, which is plenty doable. So let's have a look at these. It's not going to do anything animation-wise right now, but we're going to get to see these two masks. So what can we do with these two masks? We can put something where the one mask is and put something else where the other mask is, right? So let's add another IP adapter encoded. Let's add another encode. This model goes through the second IP adapter and then out to here. Okay, so it goes in. We're going to encode a different image with a different attention mask, okay? We need to convert these to masks, so we're going to go out of here. We're going to go mask. We want convert image to mask, and that goes into our first attention mask. This also needs to convert image to mask. All right, just change it to a different color. It doesn't matter. It's black and white, actually. And it goes to the second mask. So this is our first mask. This is our second mask. This one's watching this one. This one's watching this one. We're going to plug the same clip vision loader into here because we only need it once. We're going to plug the same IP adapter into here because we only need to load it once. The only other thing we need to connect is our embeds. And then we need to make another one of these. And then it goes into this IP adapter encoder. Okay, so we have, I know this is kind of confusing, but we have two different IP adapters. They're both looking at a different version of the same mask. And if I did this right, we can pick a different image for here. So let's use I was having fun with two different video games last night. Maybe we can get, here we go, Duck Hunt and Spy Hunter. Okay, and make sure they're both at 100%. Okay, if I wired this up right, it should alternate between Duck Hunt and Spy Hunter on this mask. It's definitely trippy. I need to look at these masks and make sure that they're spitting out. Make sure they're spitting out actual masks. I think they are. I gotta use two much different images. Let's try a butterfly and Winona Ryder. Yeah. There's other ways we can enforce this too. I'll show you what I mean. Oh yeah, it's working. Crazy. Oh, we don't actually need the motion, Laura. That's probably causing some of the issues. Oh, that's trippy. Fly on a rider. Okay, so let's so these edges are kind of gooey, right? We could take this exact same mask and use it as a control net. So that's going to go after our clip. So we're going to apply control net advanced because we're animating. Control net, load control net advanced because we're animating. I'm going to use the loose control net. You can use whatever control net you want. Control net moves through the clip. So you plug the clip in from the prompt through control net into the K-sampler. This image input is, we're just going to take it from this mask. Okay, so we just go, whoop, boop, that's it. We don't need to pre-process anything because loose control basically works with depth maps, and this is essentially a depth map. So if we run this now, it should really have pretty hard line definition changes between the oh, you know, the other thing we could do is add another one of these here so we can see what. Yeah, you can see it's already, the lines have hardened up like crazy because we're enforcing this motion with control net. And because it's the same mask, it's all from the same loader. They're all the right length, they're all the right size, they're all the right this, they're all the right that. And yep, my masks work just like I thought they did. So we don't need this. We don't need, yeah, we do need those, but so you are going to go here and you are going to go here, vert image here and load images here. Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, see, we get those nice hard lines now. Let's try a different mask. Actually, we could try a depth map now. Curious. Try a wide one, and then we could change our res because that mask was wide. So I'm going to change my res to 912 by 512. Sure. So if I'm right, all I had to do was change the mask in the one place, and it should populate everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there's too much going on in this to get any Winona. I think we're just going to get textures here, but we'll see. Diffusion? I think it's diffusion. Diffusion. There we go. Title, control net. You are prompt resolution count. AnimateDiff. IPAdapters. Checkpoint. LoRa. Input video mask. Yeah, we lost poor Winona. It looks cool. It's just because the mask is too busy. It's just too much detail and stuff. But if you used like probably 2 video games or something, it would work. Let's see what else we got. Probably something more simple will be cool. Oh, I don't want a video. Ew, I don't want a video. That might be cool. Let's have a look at that one. Yep, let's try that one. So it's 280 frames, which means I'm probably going to run it at like 4 times the speed because that'll get it down to about 90 frames. And like I happen to know that with most of my animations, I run them twice over the course of the animation. Oh, it's 70. I run them twice over the course of the animation. So actually, I don't need to for this one, but I could run 35 frames there, and it should animate once, but that's fine. We're just going to do it at 4 times the speed. This should be about 70 frames, which is not too bad. Let's try 2 video games. And what else? I think if we back off the control net just a little bit, let it loosen up the edges. So we'll set that to 80%, see what that does. These start and end percents are also useful to play with too, because they determine at what point the control net starts and takes over. So you can have it like dream, then control net takes over and then, you know, goes away. Or you could have it like control net, and then let it go and dream wildly at the end of the run, whatever you want to do. Or you could just grab it in the middle, control net it, and let it dream at the beginning and end. Lots of toys to play with here. Motion's off. You guys are good. All right, let's hit it. Oh, I got to change the resolution. If you need to cancel a run, just hit that extra options and then just cancel. It almost never cancels immediately. It will cancel when it reaches the next step of what it's doing. So if it doesn't cancel right away, just wait. And if it's taking forever, you can literally just close ComfyUI from the terminal window and then rerun it. Yeah, and then if you just rerun it, it'll and don't close the browser window, it'll just work. You can just refresh the browser window when it's back up and get back to work. Easy. Let's try Moss and Stone. Thanks, JC. Looks cool already. Give my GPU a little break. Stone and Moss. Stone and Moss. Oh, that's cool. So that's with no control net. That's literally just the IP adapter mask kind of squishing in. That's really neat. So if you guys want to see the upscaler workflow, I could slap one of those together. I just have to remember how it works. Just trying to think of where that workflow is and if I can just pull the stuff over. Oh yeah, I think I remember how it works. Let's see if I can just make one. I'll try and do it from memory. Oh yeah, I'll try one with motion LoRa on first. Let's turn the zoom in LoRa on. So same run with the zoom in LoRa. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, let's upscale this run. So we're going to use the Pixel K sample upscaler provider from Impact Pack. We're going to use this one because it does some fancy stuff. We're going to set it to LCM. We're going to set the CFG to 2. We're going to set the steps to 6, and we're just going to leave that alone. All right. This upscaler does multiple runs. Okay. So the model comes from the same place that it comes from for the other one. So I believe that's coming out of IPAdapters or AnimateDiff. AnimateDiff. VAE comes from the same place the other one does, which is the first checkpoint. Basically just plugging it in like a second K sampler here, but it's got more options. So we're going to use an upscale model loader, and we're going to use the 2x plus real ESR GAN for this because we're only going 1.5%. We don't need a 4 times upscaler. It's just a waste of time. We're going to add a couple things to this PK hook output options, okay? We're going to add a hook combine, and we're going to combine 2 different hooks. You know, it's kind of confusing. These 2 different hooks were going to be CFG and denoise. And we're going to leave everything the way it is. Let's zoom in on that and let you guys take a screenshot. So this positive and negative, it goes into our clip. Actually, no, this comes over our control net because that's the final spot on the chain there. And this upscaler goes to iterative latent upscale, okay? We're going 1.5 at 2 steps. This steps is how many times it's going to upscale, so you want to keep that low. Like 2 is good. The samples comes from our last K sampler, so this is our upscaler, and the rest of this stuff is the settings for the upscaler, okay? Right. So that's our upscaler. We need to reproduce this for the upscaled versions. So we just select them all, copy and paste, and we're just going to go in here and just add up to all these so that we know it's the upscaled version. It's really important to make sure your file names don't suck because later, you know, they can contain all the information you're going to need after you forget all the stuff you made the last day, you know. Not speaking from experience or anything. So the last thing this needs is the latent and the VAE. They need to go into a VAE decoder. So we're just going to pop that down here. Grab the VAE from here, pop it in here. This image out is the one that's going to go into all your stuffs. Right. Done and done. So that's the upscaler. It's not too crazy, but it does take longer. Okay, so here's another tip for when you're using the upscaler. Set your seed to fixed, okay? Use the same seed or whatever. And there's method to my madness here. Okay. Now, see this model here for the upscaler? I'm going to add a reroute here for the model. And this here, this reroute you can use as a switch to turn this on and off, okay? So we can run our runs until we find one that we really like, and then you can just plug in the upscaler by just plugging that guy in here. And basically what'll happen is it'll run and run and run and run. And then when you want to upscale, because this is already run with this seed, this stuff's all done and it's going to start from this point. So it's just going to start from your upscale run. That's not going to happen this time because I had it on randomized seed. So last time I clicked it, it picked a new seed. So I'm just going to run another one. It's going to do this animation and then it's going to upscale it. But normally, if you had this unplugged, you could just do animations until you like one and then upscale it. And that saves you a lot of time not upscaling every single one. Okay. Just make sure all my settings are looking good. So when you have a lot of control net, which we do, we have none control net right now. So I'm going to want to set my denoise down to like 0.25, 0.3 to try to just upscale the original video. When you have a whole lot of control net, you can actually crank that denoiser rate up to 1, let it redream the whole thing again. And control net will do its business to keep the composition intact. So that's something you can play with down the road as you play with it more. But for right now, because we're not using control net actively, I'm gonna set it to like 0.3. Okay, so hit it. So it'll do this first run here. I forgot to plug in the color match node. And the reference is what I forgot to plug in, which is the original image, which is that. Don't you love plugging something in from across the room? All right, cool. So this one won't work, but the rest of them won't. Wow, this workflow got complicated fast, eh? We've only been at this for like an hour. See if I can make this less ugly. That's damn near legible. Okay, so now it's doing the upscale. It's doing one at like 1.25, then it's going to do one at 1.5 because it's gone 2 steps. And hopefully the upscale will look really good and it won't be a total waste of time. Usually it does look really good, so I'm expecting that to happen again. 17 gigs of VRAM, so yeah, this might be a run diffusion job if you don't have a 3090 or a 4090. 12 gigs. So 12 gigs for the upscale. And I bet that VAE decoder is going to dump out to about 18 gigs, but I still think this will work on it'll work on a 12 gig card for sure. Upscale might not work on an 8 gig card. Hard to say. Maybe with a smaller batch. Batch size pretty much, determines how much VRAM you're using, like aka how many frames. And in this case, we're doing 280 divided by 70. Yeah, we're doing 70 frames. Yeah, as you can see, the upscales they're not crazy slow, but they're not fast. But it is also 70 frames, in a minute and a half or 2 minutes. It's not that bad. I'm just impatient now. Getting hot in the old streaming den. Wow. Did a good job. Nice. You get even better results by not using LCM, but I'm just using it for the stream. That looks great, though. Fantastic. That's fun. Let's try play. What's the right consistency? I like a close-up of like a ball of clay with like fingerprints. Make one in Blender, I guess. It would just take an hour or more. Maybe I don't want clay. Maybe I want... trying to think of 2 cool textures. I am curious what like fire and water looks like. No wave ifs, please. Nice. Yeah. Fire. Fire and water. Let's try zoom out. And I'm just going to disconnect the upscaler because it takes so long. Whoops, where's my thingy? Yeah. So that's the little disconnect there. You can just reconnect it whenever you want it. It's that guy there. And so this should just do the short run now. And we should change up the mask, I think. Let's do Actually, these are cool. How big is it? Oh, 1440. Holy crap. Export. That might be cool. That might be cool. 281 items. 280 times 4. All good. Don't skip. Don't cap. No cap. Okay, should get a cool fire and water bubbling effect here. Never know. Might not. Those look like clouds. Oh, it's because I used a picture of clouds instead of water. Yeah, well. Human error. Wow, that's really neat. That one's worth upscaling probably, but that's okay. I'm not in a rush. All right, let's that came out great. So what happens if we had like 50% control net on that then? Try and reinforce them bubbles a little bit. The bubbles flubbling. Whoa. That came out amazing. I may upscale that one. Sorry about the mic stuff. Okay. Didn't really enforce the control net very much. What if I put the control net at full? What do we get? So you're connected, but are you working? Does it look bubbly? It should look more bubbly. Where are the bubbles? Hey, crazy. Okay. So it's like 0.85 look like. It's nice to be able to iterate so quickly. Back in the day with other stuff, it would just, take so long to render. That's cool. Let's see if we can find that perfect happy medium here. I feel like it's 85%, maybe. The other thing is you can override, like if you're just doing these kind of tests where you're like you're doing this kind of thing, you can override this batch size here, just like make this a reroute so that you have it here, and then rename batch size to change it to a widget and just set it to like 16 or something. You need 16 to make a coherent animation, but 16 is a bare minimum. So you can just do 16 frame runs until you get that control net dialed in exactly how you like it, and then once that's like you're happy and everything's chill, then you just like plug this guy back in, turn batch size into a thing, plug the int back in, and then you get the full run. So if you don't need your test previews to loop, you don't need them to be the full length of the animation, you can shorten them up, get this thing dialed in just right, get the mask dialed in just right with control net, and then go. So like in this case, I got this set to 16, so it should just grab first 16 frames and do like really, really fast ones. We can just dial this in. So let's, it's going to bypass these two for now. Cause again, this is just for like fast iteration, right? So like I'm pretty much where I want to be here, but I'm going to see if I can back it off just a little bit more to get rid of the little bit of the, still looks a little bit like the mask in my opinion, but I want to get it to imply the mask, but not look exactly like the mask. So we'll try 80. We'll just wait for this to finish. Now I've bypassed these last two post-process runs, so hopefully it'll just do this over and over. That was Control B, by the way. Click on the node, Control B. Thing about bypass nodes or bypassing the nodes is it doesn't always perfectly work. So just don't be surprised if it doesn't work. Okay, so 80. Let's try that. So this should just do a quick 16 frame run of 80 of strength of 0.8. We can see very quickly if that's the right strength. Ooh, Shutterstock. Those look like the right strength though. Okay, so let's do this. And I'm going to try something. Oh, I know why. Because we're using the zoom out LoRa. The zoom out LoRa has a nasty watermark in it. Okay, let's try the version 3 as well. I'm just curious if it's what it's up to. And I'm actually going to, we're going to do 16 frame run on that too. I can't remember if the V3. Yeah, Vlad, they always are. A link to my YouTube's just on Purz.xyz. I mean, it's 24. Yeah, 8. Yeah, no, I had a 3070 for a while. It's rough. It's like you have your foot in the door, but you can't play play with the big toys. That's annoying. But if you're stuck, you can rent a 3090 on Run Diffusion, I think, for like 50 cents an hour. So if you want to iterate really fast or you got a big project you want to work on, that's always possible. And this motion LoRa is interesting. So I'm trying the version 3 SD15 motion LoRa. I have been using the text to video one, the new one, but it's version 2. So I find with IPAdapters, the version 3 works better, and with just straight prompting, the T2V works better. So, there's no rules to this. Okay, we're doing a full run on this one to see what it looks like at 0.8% on version 3 with the sky and fire. And then this is the mask. So, yeah. That's cool. I could probably unbypass these now. Let's try it at 100% because we haven't seen what motion model version 3 does at 100% control net. I seem to recall it working much better with control net. There we go. It's kicking. I also wanted to try that, actually the water picture that I had. There we go. Might be cool to swap these around too. Run them both on a timeline and jump between them on the beats. Oh, really getting the bubbles. I mean, a lot of bubbles. Mask pack. 4. This one should be a lot smoother because it's running at full speed. Still using the zoom in motion LoRa. Can unplug that and see what it does now. Do another run after this with it unplugged and see how it affects the version 3 motion. I'm curious about that myself. Wow. That's cool. Really smooth. You're at 1, you're at 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, cool. My desktop is insane. All right, let's try ooh, 2 different gemstones might be interesting. Sapphire and amethyst, maybe? Only get a close up. Or close up. Yeah. Oh, can I do like sapphire texture maybe? Yes. It's kind of fake, but I like it. And then we go here. Sapphire and how the hell do you spell amethyst? Texture. Oh, that's good. Let's try that. Sapphire and I'm gonna definitely misspell that. Amethyst. Oh, what did I do wrong? Avif. All right. Blue. Why is it only one line? I like that. Let's try that. Boom. What do you say? All right, I did say I would try to get to stupid InstantID. Maybe I should try InstantID. The problem is, I read in the thing that you need to have Insight Face installed, so I have a feeling it's going to fail. But what I'll do is I'll install it and I'll try to get around the errors, and you can see my process of trying to squash stuff like this. But I will warn you, I've been at this for a while and I haven't got it to work yet, so we might not win. But I'm excited to try it out. That's cool. This is great for mixing 2 textures together in an animation. But yeah, I'll throw these workflows on Discord later and you guys can play with them. Let's save this as, I don't know, we call this IP adapter, AnimateDiff, TrollNet. What the hell else is going on in here? Oh yeah, it's IP adapter masks, AnimateDiff, ControlNet, and AnimateLCM. I'll throw that on the resources channel in my Discord, and let's see if we can get InstantID working. I think I'm going to update Comfy first. This is probably a terrible idea, but we're going to do it. We'll update all. This is my favorite Comfy bug that's happening right now, where when you update a plugin, the name gets mixed with the node before it. ComfyUI Manager matting, ComfyUI ControlNet Auxiliary, ComfyUI Video matting nodes, matting the nodes. Fizz Nodes SR Plus. It's been like this forever. I don't know why. Okay, let's see what happens. Is it done? No. It's still kicking. Okay, there we go. That's what I thought. All right. That's no, there's who just did it? Cubic? Shoot. I have this link somewhere. Here it is. Okay, this is what we're gonna try and install. Doesn't seem to be a manager yet, so let's remove, not disable, let's uninstall the old InstantID nodes that I had and restart Comfy. Yeah, and then we're just going to go to terminal, go to the Comfy folder, go into the custom nodes folder, and we're going to git clone that link I just pasted. Where'd you go? Git clone that. Done. Okay. Then we're going to restart Comfy again once it's done loading. Okay, I'm going to kill it, and then we're going to start it again. Just close. Okay, and then we're going to check to see if we get an error on that node pack we just installed. InstantID. I sure hope we don't. Hey, there it is. Loaded. Okay. Let's save this. Oh, I already did. Let's clear this. I don't know how to use this. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out together, shall we? Image, save, face image, load image. What's up, Goss? It's a pipe. Oh, geez. What's a pipe, eh? Enter your path? Let's have a look at the copy link. All right. It's only for SDXL. Upgrade ComfyUI latest version. Yeah. Did that. I thought I have that. Where do those go? Insight face. Oh, weird. Weird. I thought I had those before. Okay, that's fine. So those need to go here, I guess. What are these? Okay, we'll download that. Sure. So we're getting Antelope V2 and is this the same file? I've been having trouble connecting to Hugging Face today. Hopefully you don't. Does that mean I'm not gonna be able to get the LoRa for this? Yeah, this happened to me twice earlier, trying to get connected to Hugging Face. That sucks. That really puts a kibosh on the whole thing. A control net is it? Yeah, I've been getting this all night with them. Bama. Okay, well, let's look at that workflow at least. So that's in AI ComfyUI, custom nodes, InstantID, examples. Missing all kinds of stuff. So this wouldn't have worked anyway. There's all kinds of crap broken. Okay, I'm gonna wait till this is like more betterly implemented before I fiddle around with this on stream for 9 hours and get nothing to work. Bit of a bummer note, but whatever. We tried it. This is the problem I've been having with InstantID and in this stuff in general. This InstantID and Insight Face, it's just been a real nightmare to get to work. So I'm kind of just happy with the old school IPAdapters for now. It's super powerful. So yeah, tonight we covered how to talk to an LLM and ask it what your image looks like, how to use that as a prompt, how to mix that in with an IP adapter into an animation or a still image, how to upscale that animation and make it look even better, how to apply control net, how to temper everything, how to name your files, and how to basically build yourself a one-click studio where you can take an image and turn it into an animation with various different settings. Go in and change them, hit the button, reset it, hit the button, keep generating stuff, have fun. The workflows, I'll throw them up on Discord tonight. They will be available. Again, if you love what we do here, you have fun, come join the Patreon, hang out in the Discord, the supporters channel, and yeah, we're gonna have more events. We're gonna have more events there on the Discord soon. We'll be doing like party time generation nights probably twice a month. So I'll do one every 2 weeks, and we'll just hang out and generate and listen to some tunes and make some stuff, and it'll be fun. So yeah, come on out to the Discord. All the links are on purz.xyz, and as always, thanks for hanging. Purz loves you, and have a great night. And yeah, if you need anything, it's on the Discord. It's also on my GitHub. That's just github.com/PurzBeats, and they're in there too. So yeah, man, have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.